God likes to watch. He's a prankster. Think about it. He gives man instincts. He gives you this extraordinary gift, and then what does he do? I swear, for his own amusement, his own private cosmic gag reel, he sets the rules in opposition. It's the goof of all time. Look, but don't touch. Touch, but don't taste. Taste, don't swallow. And while you're jumping from one foot to the next, what is he doing? He's laughing his sick fucking ass off. He's a tight ass. He's a sadist. He's an absentee landlord. Worship that? Never.
Aby uzyskać wizję do przekroczenia wąskiej bramy szczęścia wiecznego, życie katolika musi współgrać z praktyką wstrzemięźliwości i umartwienia. Cnoty te zapewniają równowagę w używaniu dóbr doczesnych, sprawują niejako kontrolę nad wyobraźnią i pamięcią człowieka.
To share a short message today with you about the fatherly love of God. So we just recently celebrated the holiday called Father's Day, and it really got me thinking that our Heavenly Father is someone that really does care about us and love us, much in the way a good earthly father would. However, of course, him being far more supreme than any human being could be, his love for us is far more supreme and greater as well. So it's one of those things where I think a lot of times as a father, I give my children directions, and I give them some instructions on what to do and what not to do. And my goal with that is I'm trying to keep them from getting hurt, and I'm trying to help them to learn and to grow to become the best people they can. Now, a lot of times my children, when I ask them to do something, or I sometimes have to tell them they need to do something, they tend to think that I'm just trying to control them and I'm not really looking out for their own good. They think I'm just trying to manipulate them. I think that's just part of human fallen nature, is that we're always thinking out for ourselves rather than for other people. And we tend to think other people are always looking out for themselves rather than for our best interest. So I think a lot of times we can have that same perspective towards God. So God can give us some different instructions. He can give us some different guidance. And he says, here's the things that I want you to do that will be best for you. And we just look at it and say, that's not what I want to do. I'd rather do what I want. And we kind of could be dismissive towards what God's instructions are. But the thing is, God is love, right? We read that in 1 John chapter 4, verse 8. And it says, for the one who does not love does not know God, for God is love. Wow, I mean, right there, it just clearly says God is love. Really no way to get around that. So one of those things, though, do we really understand what love is? And do we understand what fatherly love is? So in our culture, a lot of times, we think of love as, getting what we like. We love something, it's because we like something. But God's love is beyond that. God's love is not only just caring for what's best for himself, but also what's best for everyone involved in the situation, including us. And part of that is giving us commandments. Also in 1 John chapter 5, verse 3, we read, for this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not burdensome. Wow, did you hear that? His commandments are not burdensome. Yet how many times do we think of God's commandments as something that's a burden for us? Now, those commandments may not be the thing we want to do right then, but they are what's best for us in the long term. A couple examples of this, as I was thinking along these lines, was how I relate to my children. So a little while back, I was going outside to cook us some dinner on the barbecue grill, and my daughter Isla came out, and she's always wanting to help and be involved with everything. So I gave her some clear instruction. I said, stand back from the grill. You can watch and you can be here while I'm grilling this food, but you cannot get too close, and definitely don't touch the grill because it's very hot and it will burn you and it will hurt. She says, okay, I won't do it. I won't touch it. So going along my way, I'm getting ready to put some food on the grill. I take the lid off. I've got that in one hand, the grill lid in one hand. I've got some food on the other hand that I'm getting ready to drop on the grill. Isla sees her opportunity, says, oh, he can't stop me right now. So she runs up while both my hands are full, touches the side of the grill real quick. Instantly, she screams and cries and says, ow, ow. And I'm kind of frustrated because I had just given her very clear warning not to do that because I didn't want her to get hurt. So I said, Isla, why did you touch it? I just told you not to do that. And she looks at me and she says, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. See, she's sorry and she's hurt. And that's exactly what I was trying to prevent. But she's almost with the attitude of she thinks that I'm mad at her because she disobeyed. And that's what she's sorry about. And it's true, she did disobey. But the reason I had given that order to start with was I didn't want her to get hurt. Because I care about her. I love her. I wasn't trying to control her. I wasn't trying to manipulate her and keep her from having fun. She thought maybe that was the case, and I was trying to keep her from having fun of touching the side of the grill. She quickly learned that's not what the case was. Another similar situation, we were at the grocery store, and in our family we've been trying to eat healthier, more fruits and vegetables, less junk food, chips and that type of thing. Anyway, we're going up and down the aisles, and we happen to go down the one aisle that has chips on one side. So Isla gets all excited, she runs over and grabs a big bag of Doritos, and she starts to put it in the cart. And I look over and say, oh no, Isla, put that back, we're not going to get that today. And she looks up at me, and she looks right in my face, and she just sternly looks at me, and she says, no, you're supposed to be a good dad, and you're supposed to do what I want. And I want to get Fritos and Doritos or Cheetos, whatever it was, and you should let me do that, because that would be a good dad. I just looked back, and I was like, whoa, where did that come from? I don't know where that attitude had been learned from. I certainly don't think she's seen that behavior from me or anyone else in our family. But anyway, that attitude there of, wow, you're supposed to be a good dad and do what I want, right? I'm trying to help her be healthy by giving her good food, and she's mad at me because I'm not doing what she wants, and that's being, in her mind, a bad dad. Now, it seems kind of silly, a bag of Doritos or whatever it was, but a lot of times I think we can have that same attitude as followers of Christ and of God, his Father, when we're given commandments and rules to live a Christian life, things that are going to be for our benefit. We can look at those and be like, no, that's not what I want. But we really need to step back and realize that God is a loving Father. He gives us these commandments not as a burden, but because He loves us and He cares for us and He wants what's best for us. When we really have that mindset and we approach the scriptures and commandments with that attitude, I think it'll help us have a more clear vision and a little bit more receptive heart.
The thing that I have focused my own work on the most is in some ways the most surprising, and that is that when you choose things from a large choice set, you end up less satisfied than if you chose exactly the same things from a smaller choice set. And there are several reasons for it. So just to give you a sense of what I'm talking about, you go to this restaurant and they have 5 items on the menu, and you order salmon with rice and broccoli, and you eat it. And it's good. Salmon's maybe a little overcooked, broccoli's a little too crunchy, but it's good, good. You go into a restaurant and you order salmon and broccoli and rice for a menu that has 25 things, and it's good. Salmon's a little overcooked and the broccoli's a little too crunchy, but it's good. Here's what I'm saying. When you order that dish from a menu with 25 options, you will like it less than if you order the very same dish from a menu that has 5 options. Same food. Why? Several reasons. 1, is the salmon perfect? Well, I've just described it to you so that it's not perfect. It's good, but it's not perfect. And even if the salmon wasn't overcooked, you'd still find something to complain about, right? The china has a little gold pattern around the rim, and you hate gold. You'd rather, reminds you of Trump. You'd rather see like blue. So it's, perfect doesn't happen. And so what happens is you say, was this perfect? No. Well, could I have done better? If there are 5 options, you might well conclude, no, I couldn't have done better. If there are 25 options, you will almost certainly conclude, yes, I could have done better. And if you conclude that, you will regret the choice you made, and whatever regret you experience will subtract from the satisfaction of a perfectly good piece of grilled salmon. And so regretting passed up, rejected alternatives in the face of anything that's less than perfect makes the things you choose even less good subjectively than they would otherwise be. And I think it's inevitable that with large choice sets, it's easy to imagine alternatives being better than what you've chosen, easier than with smaller choice sets. Anticipated regret in some ways is more insidious. If you're worried that you will regret your decision, what can you do short of years of intensive psychotherapy? What can you do to avoid regretting your decision? This is not a rhetorical question. Anybody have any ideas? I've only been able to come up with one way to avoid regretting decisions.
You don't make one.
Don't make them. Exactly. Don't choose. You can't regret a decision you don't make. Don't choose. You can't regret a decision you don't make. And so I think a lot of the paralysis that we see comes from people's intense desire to avoid regretting, second-guessing decisions. Now, it's obvious to us at some remove from all of this that often not making decisions is the worst thing you can possibly do. Not choosing a mutual fund is catastrophic. Not choosing a 401k is catastrophic. Just taking a dart and throwing it at the list is better than choosing none of the above. But still, you don't have this pain, this pang of regret immediately associated with the sense that you could have done better than you did. related but not quite the same is missed opportunity. Suppose you order the salmon and you actually conclude that it's the best thing you could have done on that menu. But the salmon came with rice and I prefer French fries. And if I'd ordered the chicken, I would have gotten French fries. It came with broccoli, but I like beans. And if I'd gotten cod, I could have gotten beans. Why the hell didn't the restaurant make salmon with French fries and beans? And so I didn't make a mistake, but by ordering the salmon, I missed the opportunity to have French fries, and I missed the opportunity to have beans. And these missed opportunities add up, and again, subtract from the satisfaction that you get from what you don't think was a mistake. I made the right decision, but unfortunately the world didn't allow me to make the perfect decision. And you're much more likely to find this a salient consideration when there are 25 options on the table or on the menu than when there are only 5. So that nobody under the age of 30 is going to like to hear, and that is this: you can only do one thing at a time. And the more time you spend thinking about the other things you might be doing, the less satisfaction you will get out of the thing you are actually doing.
Once such traders had been admitted, for them to undermine the morale of that which had been Sparta by spreading the money madness and the promotion of luxury and the creation of unnatural concern with sex and body needs. You guys hear that? According to David Astle, when a society runs rampant with promiscuity and obsession with sex, David Astle tells you that it's the bankers, the money traders, that are responsible for so doing that to your society. That's fascinating. Well, after all, Jesus said, the love of money, the root of all evil. Not just some, but all.